Now during the sprint, we will keep measuring that how much work is remaining and how much time is remaining. Okay, so burn down chart never tells you that how much work is done. And also it is if you want to measure that how much work is done, it won't be that useful for us as well, because if you have seen any cricket match, let's say we are having the score of 300 runs and we are having 50 overs. So all that matters is how many runs are remaining and how many overs are remaining. Let's say after 25 overs, we still see that 200 runs are remaining. So it doesn't matter that what was the score when we started batting. The score that matters is what is our current situation, how far we are from the goal now, and that is what we want to measure. Every day here using the burn down. That are we going in the right direction? Are we progressing in a right way that we would be able to achieve our goal by the end of the sprint or not? So this is what we want to measure. All right. So now our first story, this will go to in progress. This will go to in progress, and we are going to learn what is agile. Any question till now?
Yes, Pratik. Sorry, I didn't get the name of the chart. What is it?
Oh,
Work?
this is burn down chart. Let me write it here. So the purpose is we have to burn it down till zero. All right. So this is how we start our first sprint. The pur- the purpose behind showing this is that we should know that when we start working on any product using Scrum, what are the prerequisites that we have to work on. Now let's jump to Agile, because our first story is about Agile. So here is the history about the Agile, that how it came into picture. So I won't say that Agile is a new thing that people are doing. The term Agile was definitely given in 2001, but Agile simply means that we should, respond to the changes. We should keep updating our plan. We should focus on the goal. If we have these things in our way of working, we can say that we are agile. Okay. Now different frameworks, some methods, they got introduced with the time. So as we can see that initially the Toyota came up with the Toyota production system, and that was basically the birth of Kanban, you can say, first time when Kanban came into picture. After that, iterative model, or you can say TDD, BDD, a lot of other things got introduced by different people. Why they introduce all these things? Because they keep trying new people. People kept trying new methods, new frameworks, so that the way they are working, it could be more efficient. So people are learning on different frameworks, different processes, methods from a long time. And if you see in 1995, around it is showing Scrum. So the exact year was 1993 when Scrum was, first introduced by these two people, Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schaberg. And Scrum was inspired by this new product development game. So these are the Japanese people who presented something which was, they presented a kind of way of working, and Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schaberg, they refined it more. They came up with a term called Scrum in 1993. Even after that, a lot of people introduced a lot of other things. But in 2001, what happened? There were 30 people, around 30 people, who were in touch with each other, who used to meet during the conferences or meetups, and they used to try something new in their organizations or with their teams, just to make their work more efficient. And in 2001 they decided to meet in a place called Utah, which is in US. It was 2001, basically 11th February was the date. They basically met in a resort, and the purpose was they wanted to come up with a best framework which is going to work for all kind of projects. As I told you, there were 30 people who were invited, and only 17 turned up. The picture you're seeing here, it is from the very same discussion when they, the 3 days where they spent in a resort, and they discussed on whatever they are doing, why they are doing it, what kind of benefits they are, getting from those methods of process. And after having a detailed discussion on everything, they found that each and every person who is using something has its own beauty. Let's not kill it. Let's not give a new process to this word, but try to identify that what is common between us. Then they rediscussed everything and they came up with four values and 12 principles. And that is the part of Agile Manifesto. We can simply find it on agilemanifesto.org, which is the official site created by these people only. So even if the word agile that we listen today, it's very popular nowadays in this IT industry, or in fact out of IT industry as well. So that word basically came from here as well. In fact, agile was not their first choice. Their first choice was the word adaptive. But adaptive was, I think, being used by somebody or registered by somebody, so they could not got this word for their manifesto, and agile was their second choice. So the purpose behind these four values and 12 principles is nothing but we have to be adaptive. We have to respond to the changes, to the feedback, and should focus on the goal. We should not freeze ourselves with any kind of process or plan. Okay, we should keep evolving. So before going for four values and 12 principles, do we have any question here on whatever we have covered so far? No questions? So this is statement, without any change, I just copied and pasted it here from the agilemanifesto.org, which says we are uncovering better ways of developing softwares by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we have come to value individuals and interactions over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. That is, while there is value in the items on the right, we value the items on the left more. So they simply identified that people focus more on the processes, tools, documentation, contracts, and plans they are having, and people keep following them blindly because my organization's process says this, we have to do this. So it does not mean that process, plan, or contract, these things are not important, but the thing is they are not the most important thing. As I said that we have to be adaptive, and that is why they say the things which matter more, they are the interactions, working softwares, collaboration with your customer, and responding to a change. Now, when I say individual interaction over process and tools, let me share example with you. Um, so I live in a gated society, okay, and there are around 300 to 400 apartments in the society. So a couple of years back, we found that every now and then anybody from the outside enters our society and they keep roaming inside. There's no restriction or anything. So for the security purpose, we thought, okay, why can't we make a process for how people should enter? And during a weekend, a few people had a meeting, and we came up with a process that anybody who is entering our society has to fill a form with the proper, government ID, and security person is going to call uh, to your intercom. Okay, so this process was implemented, but after a couple of weeks, we realized that it's fine for the people who are coming for the any vendor or any delivery boy or courier guys or plumber, electricians. For them, I think we thought that is fine. But whenever our close relatives are coming or our parents are visiting, they are also going through the same process, and this process is basically being a overhead for everyone. So what do you think we should do now? Should we keep following this process in the same way because it is a process, everybody has to follow it, or we should interact again, we should discuss again to come up with what can be changed? That is the more you can say the logical approach, okay, for everyone. Obviously we don't want the family members to suffer with this process. So yes, people met again and they decided few other things like okay, if we can somebody's calling on an intercom and you say that okay, they are my family members, they don't need to fill the form, or maybe a couple of stickers could be issued to every family, and they can distribute those stickers to their close ones. These kind of arrangements could be done. So a couple of arrangements, were done here as well. So the first value simply says that individual interactions have more value over process and tools. It does not say that process is not important, but don't keep blindly following any process. It could be a software development process. It could be a reporting process. Okay. We are sending weekly status report just because it is a process. So people are updating their whatever they are using, maybe TFS, Jira, or whatever. They are updating that as well. They are sending a daily status report. They are sending a weekly status report. It's a overhead. When all the information is there in Jira and everybody has access, probably people can go and um, see the updates or whatever reports they want. Maybe this is how we can reduce the things which are basically a overhead. Or maybe we are using a tool just because the organization asked us to use a tool. Maybe there are better tools available.